Welcome to the Maine Take, guys. Sports talk straight from the 207. I'm Evan here with Chris. Today we're going to cover some varsity baseball, college baseball, Maine athletics, some playoff basketball, and yeah, let's
a little bit of MLB.
A little bit of MLB. All right, let's get into it. So, Chris, varsity Maine baseball just started.
Yes.
We're about three games into the season now. Started over the weekend, end of last week. We're gonna highlight some players that we have kind of followed. Who do you got so far?
So I wrote down. I wanted to bring up 5 players today. The first one I wanted to pull up was Gage Farrer from Woodland High School. He's only played in the one game, but he had 8 Ks in 3 innings pitched over Jonesport Beals in a 26-4 win.
26-4. What class is that?
Jonesport Beal is Class D. And that's not the first time I'm going to bring up their name because I got a stat line from another one of their games. Later on, Wyatt Neto, Gorham High School,
Yes.
Vanderbilt commit, 6'6", 250, throws 93 on the gun. I mean, guys, he's a big boy.
That is crazy.
He's a big boy. So for some reason, and this goes back to the Max Preps thing, and sometimes stuff isn't put on, the only stat that I was able to snag from Wyatt Neto pitching was 13 strikeouts against Sanford, which isn't the highest number I'm going to say today, but I think he definitely played against higher competition than the next person I'm going to bring up
for sure.
A little bit later. I did one guy that stood out to me a lot, Noah Klein from Kents Hill High School, leads the state in strikeouts at 28 Ks with a 1.05 ERA in 3 games pitched. He's got a 1,400 OPS. He's 4 for 6 with 2 RBIs and 2 walks.
There you go.
So, he's swinging a hot bat so far early on in the season.
Yeah.
28 Ks is pretty good, obviously. Hayden Strout from Foxcroft Academy right behind him with 24 Ks, and he's got back-to-back 10 strikeout games. So, if they continue to pitch the way they've been pitching, it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to walk away with the strikeout crown. He does have a 3.5 ERA, and he's batting 300 and OPSing 964. Pretty impressive. And then this is the last guy I wanted to bring up. Noah White, complete game shutout, 1 hit, 1 walk, 20 Ks against Jonesport Beals.
Oh my goodness gracious!
A whole class below him. So
20 Ks.
Yeah,
there's 21 outs in a high school game.
Complete game shutout. Yeah, 1 hit, 1 walk, absolute gem, 20 Ks.
Dude was close to a no hit perfect game almost.
Yeah, almost.
That's
1 hit,
crazy.
1 walk away. What about you? What do you got for varsity baseball?
So I kind of I focused in on our Northern Maine Class A. Unfortunately, we need to bring more awareness to schools to upload these statistics. We searched, for crying out loud, it must have been like, hours really, like throughout the last week and then into today. There's multiple sites that have statistics in some games and not in others. Max Preps is great, but you have to rely on your coaches to upload your stats. So from what I could find is Mesolonsky. I'm actually quite pleased with their start. They're 3-0 right now. 2-0 in their class.
They're Class A North.
Class A North, yes. For pitchers, Sean Acorn with a 1.62 ERA, batting average against is 188, and he has 8 Ks through 16 at bats. He only has 1 outing, which was a win, but it's definitely starting strong for Mets. Within 3 games, your pitching rotation, you're probably gonna have 1 game pitched, maybe 2. He's also batting 400. With 6 runs scored, 4 hits, 1 triple, and 1 RBI. So he started off hot. Mesolonsky also has Jordan Lewis with a batting average of 750 through 12 at bats, with 6 hits, 1 double, 1 RBI, with an on base percentage of 818. And they have a run differential. Scored to allowed of 28-16. to start this year. Now I know that definitely is a little bit inflated. They crushed Skowhegan.
15 to
scored,
5.
Scored 15, and the other games have been one-run games, right? So they beat Coney 3-2, and then they beat Edward Little 10-9, and they actually came back in that one.
They're down 4, right?
Yeah, with a home run actually too, in the final inning, with Sean Acorn scoring that last run. So it's definitely seeming to be a lot of back and forth with their offense to defense, other than during Skowhegan. So it'll be interesting to follow them. But yeah, our main athletes definitely we're going to keep track for baseball, pitching and hitting. Again, anyone watching, please have your coaches put stats so we can talk about them and really, kind of dive into, what's going on. We want to stay a part of that.
Right, and I also want to preface, last episode we threw out our email. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
All lowercase, no space, themaintake@gmail.com. Send in some stats if you got it. We're going to have a process soon to get some interviews cooking. So, reach out. We'd love to have some people on the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Some local people.
It's important to be able, and I think it's important to take some time to talk about this. We didn't even really plan, to do this, but it's important to have the ability to follow these schools in a uniform way, right? So we have like Varsity Maine, who puts on schedules and stuff, box scores, little descriptions, which is great. You guys go check them out. Max Preps, really good to follow individuals as well as teams. But again, if coaches aren't putting these stats online, you can't follow them. There should be no reason why it takes us 2 hours to find standings online that aren't even necessarily accurate, right? Max Preps has Class A North. There's one or two teams on there right now. Obviously, Class A North is not made up of one or two teams, right? You have multiple teams. So bring some awareness to your coaches, right? Talk to them about getting your stuff online. We want to be able to cover you guys. We're going to do the best that we can, but, there has to be a meet in the middle.
Absolutely. Parents, too.
Yes.
Parents, too, reach out. I know from personal experience that there are at least one or two parents each game that pulls out their little baseball scorebook.
Oh, yeah.
And marks everything down. I know that. I played baseball here. I know that that's a thing. So, parents, reach out if you come across this. We'd love to be able to shine a brighter light on Maine sports as we go forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially high school. College is a little bit easier to follow, which is what we're about to transition in right now. The Maine Black Bears.
Yes.
18-22 on the season. 4 games under 500. They're 12-6 in their conference, though, so that's pretty cool. I got some team leaders. I didn't want to go super in depth, especially since there's statistic requirements. You got to have 2 at bats per game.
Right.
And so, I wanted to point out a few team leaders. The Maine Black Bears bats are led by Miles Sargent with a .362 batting average. He leads the team. 7 home runs, leads the team. And 40 RBIs in 40 games. Leads the team. It's an RBI game.
Yeah. Wow.
Caleb Lees. I think it's Lees. It's Leys. It might be Lays. Do not know. I don't know.
Odds you got that right.
Yeah. Well, I got. It's 100% because I threw out 2 different pronunciations, right?
I mean, with your initial pronunciation.
50% probably.
All right.
Unless it's like a little bit of a trickery and it's lies or something, So maybe like 33%.
I'll have to check on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Leads the Maine Black Bears on the pitching side with a 5-1 record in 11 games started, 65 Ks in 53 innings pitched, and a 2.21 ERA. Leads the team by 3 points in ERA, by the way. The second place is 5. For starters, yeah. Second and third place are both sitting in 5s. So
their number 2 is over 5.
Yeah. And then Chris Bear, I had to write this down. I'm a big fan of stolen bases. 40 games, 11 stolen bases on 12 attempts, 92% success rate. Brother.
That's crazy. Wait, 92% success rate?
I mean, he went 11 for 12, yeah, in 40 games. But
I mean, still, that's...
if you're talking... If you are transferring the play level, and this is only based on playing a 162 game season like the MLB. That's on pace for 40 stolen bases.
Yeah, no,
So that's good.
That's good.
That's good. You're on pace for 44 stolen bases on 48 attempts. Like, that's exquisite.
Exquisite.
That's what you're on pace for, though.
Right. Yeah. Well, obviously, you have to keep. Yeah, we're assuming that's kept up. How many games do they play in college? They must be getting done soon.
Yes. Yeah. It's. I don't think it's any more than 60. Even that's a lot.
I think that's a lot. Yeah.
I
mean, most colleges are graduating soon. They don't really play much past, I don't think, if any.
No, absolutely. So they've played 40 games already, and it looks like the schedule runs until May 17th. So they've got 10, 15 more games.
Okay, yeah.
And then they have the America East tournament for the
Okay,
conference
yeah, so,
championship.
I mean, in total, they're playing around
50,
60 games. Okay. No, that makes sense.
So
No, that's good. I wonder if he'll reach, close to 20 by the end of the season.
I love a guy that can steal some bags.
That'd be cool.
Jeremy Pena, former World Series MVP, graduated from Maine High School.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Or Maine College. Sorry. Yeah.
Was that from UMO?
Yeah, he got drafted by the Astros. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll
Interesting.
have to hit him up.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
Crazy. Cody
Lawyerson, yeah.
He's
a lot of good Maine, athletes.
Triple A. It might even be Double A affiliate for the Minnesota Twins. I know he's gone up and then he's gone back down. Also went to UMO. He's actually from Maine.
Yeah, Dexter too from Meslonsky. I think it was Sam Dexter. I think he went Double A at one point or Single A.
Right. And Wyatt Neto, Vandy commit.
Yeah, Vanderbilt.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
So
yeah, no, that's great. I mean, watching all these people, come out, they do exist, right? We have Maine athletes that are really good, which again, I want to highlight, right? We have to be putting these people, in the spotlight. The ability to be seen is you can't appreciate someone's ability to play sports if you don't even know what they've done.
Right, and it's it's an unfortunate circumstance as a podcast just starting out. We're a 2-man operation, 3-man if you want to count the support and the help we get from your wife.
Yeah.
We're a 2-man operation. It's not feasible for us to be able to collect all this data ourselves if it's not being put online. So
right. I mean, you take into account that, obviously, this is fun and whatnot, and we're looking at doing this as a, hopefully as a profession. I mean, that would be the cool part.
Yeah, that's the goal. You don't start something like this without that being the goal.
No, but we're working jobs, right?
Yeah.
And so we can't go to, 20 games, a week and to keep our own stats. We just don't have the time. That's why there's websites that are made for this, but the unfortunate part is they're not handled. They themselves almost have this situation set up where people are supposed to, coach is supposed to go put in their own stats. Okay, well, if they don't do that, then all the other news outlets, podcasts relying on that information, if they can't get someone out there to go watch it themselves, they don't get the stats.
Right, yeah, almost like we are calling upon the community of Maine. Let's all work together.
Honestly,
let's all work together and get some Maine athletics out there in the spotlight.
The reason, you see states that are, that put forth more athletes, they have more coverage.
Yeah.
That's really, I mean, it really comes down plain and simple to that. So
and population.
Well, which helps the coverage part, right?
Yes.
More people care about it, so more people take that into,
Absolutely.
Consideration. So, please,
Yeah, absolutely. We took a good little 6 or 7 minutes just guessing, talking about that. So
yes.
This is a sports podcast. Brother, let's talk NBA playoffs.
NBA. Oh my goodness gracious. The Pistons and the Knicks. That game was absolutely insane. All right. Watching that game was like watching a boxing match. And I'm not even joking.
That's what you texted me too.
Oh, literally.
You texted me that, yeah.
So through most of the quarters, well, I didn't say most. So the Knicks led early, right? Detroit regained around the end of the second, I think third quarter, and they kept the lead until the last little bit in the fourth. But the aggression that the refs allowed, I was shocked. Like, I get it. It's playoff intensity rises, right? We're going to expect that. But oh my goodness, the amount of contact that they allowed. They were consistent though. I'm not going to lie. They had 17 and 17 fouls on each side. So, I mean,
I thought the way that the game ended, we were going to see another Malice at the Palace.
dude.
I thought there was going to be a riot in the state.
That
was the Pistons played at home.
Oh yeah.
That's an awful missed call.
Oh my goodness,
make at
yeah.
home.
So,
in Detroit, those guys care about their team, bro.
It was ridiculous. So for anyone who didn't watch, right, there was 6 seconds left on the clock. Cade Cunningham put up a mid-range shot that missed, right, wide open really for NBA standards. The ball bounced between people and rolled to the corner. All right, now, who picked it up?
Well, Josh Hart took the shot.
No, Josh Hart was defending.
Oh, he was the foul. Yeah.
I'm
the foul. I know. Was it Tim Hardaway took the shot, right?
I think it was Hardaway. Yes.
Tim Hardaway took the
So
shot.
he's in the corner, okay, and he goes up. Josh Hart comes across, hits him in the shoulder, partly almost in the head. Basically, like, you know, it was a good amount of contact. Shoots the ball, right? Obviously misses. Game over. No call, right? Now the issue I have with that, right, is you look at that situation. Some people are like, okay, the refs blew the game. There are 48 minutes in the game, right? The conception that
One
one play decides the game isn't true. The Knicks shot 45.5% from three, right? While the Pistons shot 24.9, right? So that's a massive difference, right? The Pistons did shoot in the 40s for percentage of field goals, while the Knicks shot in the 30s. But obviously the 3-point made up the difference. So you can't blame it all on one play. But what I will say is that if someone is taking the last shot and they get hit enough that the shot doesn't count, right, or that the shot's not going to go in, and then you don't call the foul, I mean, what's now going to stop players from thinking, all right, as long as I can disrupt them enough, right, where it's going to really affect the shot, but they're not going to call the foul. Like, I feel like that sets a precedent that's inaccurate.
Yeah, I do like the way that the official handled it. You know, the crew chief was, you know, saw the replay and he was like, yeah, that should have been a foul. And you know, admitting to that, I think will almost in some way counteract the very thing that you just brought up.
Yeah,
I'm hoping.
Well, I think that's why they did that, because honestly, that's the only reason why you would do it. Because who cares? Like the game's over, right? Like, at the end of the day, to come out and be like, oh yeah, I missed a call. What is to prove that other people were right? I mean, they saw it. They know you missed the call,
yeah.
Right? So the only thing I can think of as to why they would do that is to try to counteract any, you know, behaviors based off that. But it's.
I thought Bickerstaff was going to be throwing hands on the court,
dude. He was shouting at refs. Oh my goodness. I would be too. I mean, think about it, right?
Right. Now they got to go play in the Garden tonight.
Yeah. They were at home, gonna tie the series, won that game emotionally, just the intangibles, other than 3-point percentage, were ahead almost in everything. And, you know, to have that happen on your own home court, I mean, at least if it happened away, you could use the excuse of, well, they're at the Knicks stadium, like, whatever, like, you know, environment bias. It wasn't that. They were at home, and the ref was standing 2 feet away.
Yeah.
How do you miss that? Like, I was frustrated just because personally I wanted Detroit to win. Like, that was my hope, but.
Well, you know. Now they're playing in the Garden. Jalen Brunson's averaging 33 points a game in the playoffs.
And he was hurt, by the way.
4 games.
He left the game. He left the game late in the third quarter with an ankle injury. The dude went down and came back and scored 17 points in the fourth. Like, he came back in the first 2 possessions. He came back, just walked into the lane for a layup. It's just like,
I think Jalen Brunson might be one of my favorite players to watch. On a real note,
I like him when he's not baiting for fouls.
Well, you know, right. I mean, that's the league now.
Yeah,
everybody baits for fouls.
All right. But the way you do it is matters to me. Okay, for example, second quarter, the dude's running back to play defense, right? The Detroit's coming down the floor, and he positions himself behind someone who's like backpedaling, and then falls over when he gets to him. Like, okay, all right. There's a difference between shot faking, getting someone to jump, and even jumping into them, which I think is still stupid. But, they chose to be out of control in the air, so I can understand that more. You're going to wait till someone's not paying attention, get behind them, and then fall over like they hit you. Are you kidding me right now?
He's averaging 33 points a game through 4.
I don't care. That's scummy.
You know
That's
what
scummy.
I mean?
Hey, you can call it a foul. That's scummy. If that's what you're gonna make your living off of in those cases, nah.
I don't know if you could really look at it and call it scummy. I mean, I understand, from a pure sports aspect, yeah, that's exactly what you do. But, these rules are in place. He's not the only person that takes advantage of the rules.
No.
So we are absolutely, advantageous situations. You got to run those fouls.
I mean, yeah, okay. So the premise that you're taking advantage of what's given to you, sure, right? Like obviously, if they're gonna call it, in some respect, you'd be stupid not to take advantage of it. But from a pure basketball aspect, where you just want to see the game played right, it just looks so bad. Like you're fishing for stuff that's to gain an advantage in a situation where you can just play defense. Like that's just my take on it.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be bias with it by fans anyway, too. Like, if I'm a Celtics fan and that happens in a Celtics game, then obviously I'm not going to mind as much. But I'm still objective where I'm like, that's really not cool. That happened the other day. Horford got knocked into someone on the Magic, and it was really incidental. They didn't really mean to hit him, and, he got the foul. But it's like, great, we got the foul, but, like, it's playoffs. Like, that really shouldn't mean anything. On that note, the Magic and the Celtics. Oh my goodness, what a game it was Sunday. Did you watch that?
No, I did not. I went home.
No,
I got home and I took a nap. Took a fat nap.
A fat nap.
Yeah, after church, I went home and I took a fat nap.
I'm gonna give you some stats. You ready?
2.5 hours. Statistically, it was a great nap.
It was a great nap.
Just avoided REM. Almost got the REM stat up in there with the 3-hour sleep. That was.
I'm gonna hit you with some stats. I want your opinions. All right.
Please
Tatum, 42 minutes played, 37 points, 14 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 assists. Brown had 21, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 steals. Horford, I want to say, 5 blocks. 5 blocks, only 6 points, but I mean, geez, 5 blocks in a spot where Porzingis is struggling, right? Cornette, I love having as an option, but he's not really a big defensive menace for the most part. Horford coming in, it's really impacted the game.
In the playoffs, in the playoffs when the intensity is so much higher, you need a guy that's going to come in and play good defense. And Horford's that guy. He's that guy, and he's like 40 years old. Dude.
30, 38, about to be 39. That's crazy, man. I mean, he came in with he almost got into a fight too. That
gets me fired up.
White drove down the lane, got pushed too much. It shouldn't have been a flagrant, but they checked it for a flagrant. And Horford got up in the guy's face and started wagging his finger and stuff. He's the dude caused oh my god, a pile up of people. No one threw hands, but oh my goodness. So this has been the story though with the Magic, and I want to give them credit. 29% from threes with the Celtics shot, and that has been like the story of this series. They have not been able to get that 3-ball going. I mean, in the first 2 games, it was definitely more prevalent, but the last 2 games, it's not been good. They were 9 for 31 from 3, 93% from free throw though. So the Celtics, they played a good game on Sunday. I think they kept Orlando at bay. But one thing I want to point out is the Orlando Magic's free throw percentage was 70%. They were 14 for 20. They only lost by I think 9. That's a different game, right? So I think the Celtics need to pick it up tonight.
Absolutely, especially if the Cavs keep playing like they're playing.
Oh my goodness.
They dismantle. It was like I don't remember it off the top of my head, but we were sitting there, we were talking last night. It was like 79-33 at half. Oh, yeah. And they ended up winning by 55 points. It was 138-83.
Yeah. No, it's just not even.
I mean,
Not even close.
And it wasn't even like, don't get me wrong, there were a lot of players that had a good game. But
Yeah.
it's not like Donovan Mitchell went off for 40. He led the team with 22 points. Everyone's scoring
Oh, yeah.
for Cleveland right now, and
Which is not. I mean, that's not what you want to see as other.
If you're not a
teams.
Cavaliers
yeah,
fan.
yeah, because like that's. I mean, that's the story of modern basketball. If you can have a bench and a team that's well-rounded
There you
in
go.
scoring, thank you. That's the way to win. I mean, you look at the Celtics bench this last game. I think like 3 people scored. I mean, Missoula needs to make sure. This is something I don't like, is when coaches go down to a 8 to 7 man rotation, right? You need to trust your guys.
Yeah.
I get it. You're gonna pull back their minutes, fine, but like, you need to show trust in them. When they won last year, they had a good rotation of players playing, right? Don't fall back into the 7 man stuff. You need everyone to be shooting, everyone to be getting minutes. When Tatum and Brown eventually sit, they have to sit, even if it's just 6 to 8 minutes a game. Someone needs to be able to make baskets.
right, yeah, somebody's got to be able to come off, put up 8 points, 8
Yeah.
to 10, you know.
So do you? Who do you got winning tonight? You got the Celtics taking the series out, or?
I mean, they're in Boston. You know,
It's
they
true.
gotta win it, right? I feel,
Well, one would think.
you know,
One
you
would
can't.
think.
That's one of those things you can't drop home. Everybody knows this. This isn't like some, brand new idea. You gotta win home games in playoff series. Yeah, that's what it's there for. Definitely, I think the Celtics win it in Boston. I think that the Knicks, I really want it. I like the Knicks. I like Jalen Brunson. I've said that. So I think as a fan of Jalen Brunson, I want them to win the series. I want the Pistons to win a game. This has been a really fun series to
Yeah.
watch. It's been a really fun series to follow. So I would love if this series went 7 games. I probably won't. I think the Knicks will take it in the Garden.
Yeah.
I think the safe bet would maybe be the Pacers over the Bucks in Indianapolis tonight.
yeah.
Damian Lillard just tore his Achilles.
He's out.
But
That team is broken.
I think, don't be surprised. Giannis might be due for a 40 bomb. They might take it. They
Yeah.
might take it. I mean, now his boy's gone. Damian Lillard's gone. The other scorer's gone. You have to go out there and put up 40. I'm not saying that if he puts up 40, they're going to win. Who do they got? Who do they got other than Giannis? Kyle Kuzma?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
They traded away Middleton, man. They traded away a 39% 3-point shooter, or was it 34 or whatever, in the 30s. Like, now your other scorer's gone. Nah, I see the Pacers taking this one.
Absolutely. That's fair. I don't think that's crazy. And then game 5 of the Nuggets Clippers in Denver tonight on Tuesday.
What's that series at?
2-2. So it's game 5. I think that, you're going to see a Kawhi Leonard classic. And everybody knows a Kawhi Leonard classic isn't going to be him going out and dropping 30 or dropping 40. He's going to drop 22 points, get like three steals, be locked in defensively, and I think they're going to take it. I think that if Kawhi plays like he has been playing and James Harden, shows up, I don't see a reason why they should lose this series. I think on paper, the Nuggets have a really competitive team. The coaching situation there is crazy
Yeah.
right now. And without that consistent, strong, firm leadership in the playoffs, you really got to step it up, in my opinion. I think last thing I got for the NBA playoffs, I think the Lakers win in LA tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I think they lose in Minnesota in Game 6.
You think it's going to 6?
Yeah, I think it's going to go to 6. I don't think Minnesota will beat them in LA tomorrow night. I think it's tomorrow night they play. If it's not tomorrow night, it's Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then I think they'll win in Minnesota to take the series.
Okay. I think I live with that. I'm gonna take the Nuggets tonight.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
I'm gonna
Nikola
home
Jokic
game.
home field advantage?
Yeah, I'll take the Nuggets. I wouldn't be shocked if they won the series, but I also wouldn't be shocked if they don't. I think that they have a really well-rounded team, but I don't know because of that coaching situation. It does affect people.
Both the Clippers Nuggets series and the Pistons Knicks series would be series that I'd love to see go to 7 games because they've been
Electric.
Good games. They've been good games, man, and you love to see that. I think that just about covers it for NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
I got a little segment on my own here. I did my own individual research. Evan kind of entrusted in me to bring something to the plate. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended for baseball. Bring something to the plate. Man, the Chicago Cubs bats. I mean, the pitching is doing really well. You got to have good pitching to win games. You know, the pitching is great, but I want to highlight the bats first. I mean, I will bring up pitching. I'd like to highlight the bats, but pitching is important. Shota Imanaga, 3.18 ERA, 27 Ks. I mean, this is their starting rotation is crazy. Statistically, obviously, you're looking at the starting rotation and you're not immediately going, oh, well, these guys are all dogs. You have Shota Imanaga, 3.18. He's the ace. And then you have Boyd pitching a 2.5. Like, you got two guys, pitching around 3. Now, there are a few guys like Justin Steele's pitching 4.76. He's only started 4 games. I think that'll come back down. I think Justin Steele is really good, leading the team in wins for pitching. But the bats is what I wanted to bring up. New Cub Kyle Tucker leads the team with home runs with 7, batting average at 289, RBIs, OBP, hits. He literally leads the team in just about every statistical category hitting the ball. But I wanted to talk about team statistics. The team itself's hitting 260, which as a team is really good. On base 3.4. The entire team is getting on base 34% of the time. And they're slugging 444 with an OPS of 783. Like, these bats are hot, and I wanted to specifically outline Pete Crow Armstrong, the young buck over there. 12 stolen bases very early on in the season. 12 stolen bases, he's hitting 286, OPSing 855, and he actually leads the team in WAR at 1.9, which is amazing. I'm a big WAR guy. I love that. 10 doubles and 5 home runs from this kid. I mean, PCA, MLB The Show legend, by the way. I think like last year or the year before, I traded for him in every single one of my franchises. PCA is an MLB The Show legend. So, the Cubs are fun to watch. You have a lot of teams that are fun to watch. I think the Padres are fun to watch. Even if you hate the Dodgers, the skill on that team, it's fun to watch. You have players that are fun to watch, Paul Skeens. But the Cubs are playing good ball right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they carry through the rest of the season, they might walk away with the division in the NL Central. So make the playoffs, make a good run. I mean, Kyle Tucker's hitting like it. I just can't believe it.
Yeah.
I just can't believe it, man.
Well, let's see if they can continue it. I mean, teams go up, they go down. It's a long season. So it'll be interesting if they can continue. I'm hoping the Red Sox stay, on this little run they had going.
Yeah. The Rangers are dropping games like crazy.
Are they?
Yeah, the bats are not. They're not there. I mean, we have a few good games. Corey Seager, I think, had a 2 home run game not that long ago. Adolis Garcia's hitting tanks. He's not hitting a lot of balls, but he's hitting tanks. Marcus Simeon's really got to get the bat going. Wyatt Langford, who started the season hot.
Yeah.
The pitching's there, I think, but the bats aren't in there. 15 and 14 right now. I think they just lost 2 straight to the Athletics too, so it's not a good look for the boys.
No, but I mean, hey, the Sox dropped one earlier this year. What was it, like 18 or 19 runs or something like that in a game?
It's going to happen,
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. There's 162 games you're bound to have.
Oh, yeah.
And if you are a good team, and the Rangers are, if you are a good team, you are going to go on stretches where you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Quite a bit, but, it's everything else that matters. It's you are a good team. You're a good team.
Right. It's about getting
go win the games.
Yeah, it's not about the falling off. It's about getting back on and
right.
And
it's not a talent issue.
No.
It's not a talent issue.
No, I think that's good. To wrap this up, I want to emphasize, once again, anyone watching, the main take at gmail.com, give us the stats, information, events that happen you want to be covered. Please, as a community, let's try to really further this information and present what's going on in our athletics so that people can see and really appreciate it, right? That's kind of our goal here. So we'll be getting some interviews soon, talking to other people, and we're really excited.
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I have nothing.
You have nothing?
Nothing left. I think you hit the nail on the head.
All right, I'm Evan here with Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.